Motorsport 411 presents
all the four- and two-wheeled action.
Motorsport 411 with Sean Cardovillis.
Welcome to Motorsport 411, your home for all your four- and two-wheel action in Africa. Coming up in this episode, we speak to the motorsports legend Baldev Chager and get his views on the sport. And we catch up with Jose Sardinha, who took part in 4 different motorsports disciplines in 4 weeks.
All the four- and two-wheeled action. Motorsport 411.
Welcome to the show. So Baldev Chager has kept out of the limelight since taking a break from rallying. Motorsport 411 managed to catch up with the multiple Kenyan National Rally champion and Safari Rally winner. Baldev, thank you so much for speaking to us on Motorsport 411. You've been taking a bit of a break from the sport. What have you been up to?
I've been taking a break from all of you. I've even forgotten how to talk on interview. Nothing really, Sean. Just carrying on with work. Just the same old. Just trying to make ends meet. Things are tough in town. Just really. I mean, even my business is kind of revolves around motorsports, and then you can see there's just not too much activity. So that's really about it. And I'm actually investing into a new workshop in the industrial area, just on Masai Road. So just looking into getting that up and ready. So that's taken up quite a lot of my time, actually.
Now, it was kind of enforced in terms of you taking a break from the sport because it coincided with the pulling out of Menengai Group from motorsports.
Okay, everyone kind of knows what happened with that incident with Chager. Our thoughts and blessings are always with him. He's doing quite well. He's in America. I think even before that incident, rallying had already started taking a plunge. The Cabras team was probably the last most active team once Rear and everyone else kind of left the scene. Unfortunately, whatever happened, Chager pulled out, Onkar pulled out. What the future would have held, I don't really know, because the entries were already dwindling even before we left the scene, to be quite honest. And being a 4 times champion, there was really not much more to chase in terms of the championship or anything. So we kind of just focused more on the classic, which we also managed to win. So that's another bucket list sort of ticked off. Yeah, it's quite, I don't know, really.
Do you feel the hunger had gone, the fire in your belly, so to speak, in terms of competing at the highest level?
Again, I'll just go back and maybe rephrase. After the Cabras, after Onkar and Chager left the scene, it just eventually ended up being 3 people, which was myself, Carl, and Karan, and everyone else was just miles behind. So it just, you could say the flame kind of just died out as soon as Flash and I both left. Karan, poor guy, is left on his own. He went on and won the championship. I think he's going through a similar phase right now where he doesn't really find any challenge in the national series. He's got it. He's ticked the box. He's become champion. To become champion this year would have been super easy, regardless. But the flame, the whole excitement of the national series is not what it used to be. It's not getting the people. It's not getting the right investment. It's not. Even spectators are just really disheartened with it. We meet a couple of people every now and then. They're like, please come back and rally. And I'm like, okay, I could, but come and rally and achieve what again? It's like the fire and the excitement is just not there, to be honest. The competition, put it that way, the competition it's not there.
There are rumors that you could make a return to 1 or 2 rallies. You could resurrect either a Subaru or a Mitsubishi. Any truth to those rumors?
Okay, so I'm not sure if you're aware that we did the Zero car in the WRC this year, and we did the Zero car in WRC last year. So that was really good fun. So we managed to get an Evo 10 for that job. So probably maybe do the same thing again next year. So I do have an Evo 10 just sitting. So I need some steam really to get me off my chair and say, go do a rally. So I do have a car, in all honesty, at the moment as we speak. But there's just no drive to go and do an event so as such.
It's also not cheap as well. I guess finances would also play a part.
Yeah, Sean, it's become so expensive. Like I said, because I'm in the trade of motorsports as well, it's become so challenging. So, for example, if we bought something worth €1,000, just literally a year ago, it was about 115,000 shillings. The same €1,000 is 160,000 shillings today. So that's just one little example I can give you. So the cost of components, cost of importing, freight, tires, fuel, everything has gone up 30 to 40% from what it used to be. Sponsors don't see it that way. So the same 1 million that you used to get before is worth 40% less now in current day and age, And sponsors, I guess, still expect you to perform at the highest level, but the levels of finance that are coming through are not increasing according to the inflation or exchange rates that we're experiencing at the moment.
Just going on to the Zero car, of course, you were talking about it, and it was so exciting. I remember seeing you at Elementaita in the Zero car. I don't know if you were aware how popular you were when you were driving around. Could you hear the cheers?
No, of course not. You have a helmet on, you have the intercom on, you have the WRC radio going on in your ear. Well, not my ear, at least Garrett's ear. But it was really nice to be out there, to be honest, because it was literally doing the whole rally, but in a very relaxed manner. Not that you're competing, though we did look at our times. They were quite decent, I must admit. And just without that stress of going into service park one time and leaving late or not, or we could go in service park when we wanted. As long as we got to the start of the stage when we were supposed to, everything else after that was really quite cool. You could just stop and do what you want outside assistance. That way was quite a lot of fun, but I have to admit, you would rather be in the rally itself, though we had the same amount of fun. Yeah.
Baldy, one or two changes in the KMSF. We got Maina Muturi back. He's promising to try and fix the issues regarding the Kenya National Rally Championship. If you had a message for Maina, what would you tell him in terms of trying to fix the championship?
To Maina, I would say welcome. You have a lot of things to fix. I would strongly suggest maybe get a venue and just invite all license holders rallying to motocross, to whatever. Sit down, have an open forum, let everyone air out their issues, and that's the way we're going to move forward. If we can't talk, if we can't be listened to, then we're not really going to move forward. So just have a forum, hire a hall, Simba Union or whatever, invite all license holders, and it's going to be a long meeting, I can promise you that. But from there, we'll move forward. It's all about dialogue. It's all about understanding, I believe. People still want to rally, though it has become expensive, but people still have the cars. People still have the passion. And we just need to find what it is that they want to come back. I was put onto a task force earlier this year to ask drivers what it is that they wanted, and we got a couple of responses. We managed to get in the B13 category. We managed to extend expiry dates on a few items like seats and belts and fuel tanks within reason, of course, but it still didn't help anything. The category came in, and yet we have no entries in the B13 category or any other categories that we spoke about. So clearly there was something very wrong, or there's people just not talking, or I just don't understand what it is. But yeah, I think an open forum would be really nice. Just have everyone sat down there Maina can share the forum, and let's talk. Let's talk. Let everyone talk. My decisions or my opinions may not necessarily be the same as the next person or the third person. Everyone has their own problems, have their own opinions. It's nice just to listen and see what we can do to move forward.
And finally, it's been mentioned before, you're very close with Flash, and some of the other drivers of your generation, so to speak. And they've always spoken about the camaraderie that you guys have had, and it's sadly lacking these days.
Yeah, motorsports in Kenya, it was a very sociable thing. We'd look forward to go out there. We've all become very good friends. Flash has become one of my best friends just because of rallying. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known him, to be honest. Likewise with Ian, likewise with Onkar guys, likewise with so many people. We've made such good friends. We have such a good little motorsports family. And we all kind of look out for each other. We kind of respect each other. You have the odd ones in there, but we'll not mention that right now. But there's that same feeling is just not there anymore. The last rally I did was the Guru Nanak in the Porsche, which was like a test before the East African Classic. And from what we left it at and what we found, the whole atmosphere in the service park and in general was very disheartening. It's just like you didn't feel comfortable, you didn't feel at home, so to say. And we must get that atmosphere back. I think a lot of petty politics as well between a couple of teams and drivers also have led to that. But people trying to influence different decisions, and it really, there's a couple of things all put together that really left a bitter taste in a lot of people's minds. But to Maina, I say, let's sit, let's talk, call everyone, let's have a conversation, let's move on.
All right, and two events we're definitely guaranteed to see you later this year, the Rallycross and, of course, the East Africa Classic Safari Rally.
Yeah, definitely. I always look forward to the Rallycross. It's really one of the nicest things that's happened to motorsports in Kenya. It's really entertaining. I think you saw it last time as well. From all the kids to the ladies to the gents to the elderly. Everyone has a place in that sport and any category. It's so exciting. It's reasonably priced. It's all in one venue. And even for spectators, it's really, really a good day of action. I could just honestly wish it was a bit closer to Nairobi, because I think just being in Machakos leaves it a bit difficult for spectators to come and visit. But it's gaining popularity. The effort that Carl and Tim have put into it is phenomenal, and I really respect them for that. And I will always support them and be by their sides because they're doing a really good thing for the sport. As for the Classic, the car is being prepared as we speak. And maybe I'll probably do another rally, a national rally with the Porsche just before the Classic, just to shake off the cobwebs and get a feel of the car again. And look forward to the Classic. Big, massive entry, some solid teams, some solid drivers. So it's going to be a real interesting challenge, this particular Classic coming up.
It is an absolute privilege. I know we don't get a hold of you too often, but thank you so much for your time. The multiple Kenya National Rally Champion and Safari Rally winner, Baldev Chager, thank you so much for speaking to us on Motorsport 411.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sean. Thank you very much, Lee. And you guys keep doing what you do best. You're doing a fantastic job as well, keeping everyone informed. Always a pleasure to be online with you.
We'll be back.
All the 4 and 2-wheeled action. Motorsport 411. Motorsport 411.
Welcome back. Now, driver Jose Sardinha has created a little bit of history by taking part in 4 different motorsports disciplines in 4 weeks. We managed to catch up with him during the week. Jose, thank you so much for speaking to us on Motorsport 411. Now, an incredible achievement. There's 4 events in 4 weeks, starting off with the Eldoret Rally, going on to Autocross, Rallycross, and then the Rally Raid, all in the space of a month. Just tell us, first of all, why you decided to do that.
Well, thank you, Sean, for having me on the program, first of all. Second, it was basically the calendar that decided it for us. When we looked at the calendar, it was four events in the month, and we made a decision to go out and try and compete in all of them. One is, the Eldoret Rally. We made a really quick decision on the Wednesday to go out and do the rally. And then followed with the Autocross, which I started a couple of months ago, and I thought, let me just keep the momentum going. The RX obviously was scheduled, and I was driving the taxi for Tim. And then the Rally Raid was part of the championship. So, basically the calendar dictated what we were going to do for the month.
Now, logistically, it can't have been easy. How did you cope with that?
Yeah, so I think the biggest cost we had is logistics. Obviously you take a team with you where you go, the service crew. So, hotels and getting the car there and back were the biggest costs. But I have Celeste, my wife, that runs the team from a logistical point of view. And she just managed to get us hotels and get us good pricing. People were very accommodating, and that's how we did it.
You're also working as well. How did you split your time between work and all this?
Well, like I always say, motorsport's not a sport. It's actually a way of life. So it's work during the day and then jumping at night where I can. But I mean, I've got a fantastic team behind me with Rob Sport. Robert Gow prepares the car with his team. So it's taken a lot of pressure off me from that perspective. Making sure that the car is ready, bolt checked, and all the necessary items done before the event.
Now, you mentioned your wife, Celeste. You've got an ever-patient wife who's also like your sort of team manager, coordinating everything in the background. You're very lucky in that way.
I wouldn't say lucky, I would say blessed. Yeah, she doesn't even blink an eye. I'm like, I pointed to the event on a calendar and she just kicks into gear. No questions asked.
I'm sure there's a lot of people who'd love to be in your position.
Yeah, I mean, she's an integral part of the team and works just as hard as all of us, to make sure that we're all comfortable and fed and got a place to stay. And, mechanically, she's quite strong as well. So a great asset to the team.
Now, you mentioned Robert Gow, and he's the guy basically in charge of your cars, and you're quite active on social media. There's quite a bit happening with your cars. Just tell us more about that.
Yeah, so, the Rally Raid car, when we got it, wasn't very reliable, and we had to make a decision, to get the car reliable for the year and do as many events as we can with the car to get value from it. 4 raid events a year, it wasn't enough to keep us busy, so we decided to do the rallies and autocrosses with the car as well. And I think the most important thing was getting the basics right, making sure the suspension is done correctly, making sure that, everything is reinforced and made strong the way it should be. And then we made the decision to change the engine and go for, 3.5 litre single overhead cam with a standard gearbox. Nothing fancy on there. We redid all the wiring. We put a standalone ECU in from Power Mods. And basically we were chasing reliability. Going forward towards the end of this year, after the last Rally Raid, we've got a Lexus V8 engine that we're going to be putting in with a Toyota manual gearbox, which should give us a much better gear ratios than what we currently got. The Pajero was never designed to do what it's doing now. So, we're looking for a little bit more torque and, retain the reliability for next year.
Just tell us about your background in motorsport.
So, I've done a couple of rallies in South Africa and rally sprints and gymkhanas. Unfortunately, money and time was an issue around the rallying side of things for me there. And then I started doing some track racing where I was quite successful in. We won a lot of races. We managed to win the 2010 Modified Production Car Championship, won Index, and we won class and won a number of days for events ranging, from Swartbosch to Kyalami, Lichtenberg, Midvaal, Patisa, all of those tracks. So predominantly I concentrated on the track racing in South Africa.
Jose, finally, you've got a real passion for motorsport. Why motorsport?
I don't think it's a decision you make. It's one of those things. My dad used to prepare rally race cars, and going to the track and seeing what's happening. And I think once you get that smell of race fuel, in your body, it never goes away. And I got involved in motorsport very late. I didn't do karts or anything. There was no money for that, so I really, strung some stuff together and went racing. And I think you learn more from that, to driving a slow car fast, and learning how to build the car reliably. And, the driving is the one part, but I really enjoy the whole build-up and the preparation and, the thinking and the innovation that, you come up with sitting around with the team and make changes to the car and see if it works. And if it doesn't, go back to the drawing board. It's challenging.
Jose Sardinia, thank you so much. Fascinating stuff. Thank you so much for speaking to us on Motorsport 411.
It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me.
We'll be back.
Motorsports 411 with Sean Cardovillis.
So that's it for the show this week. Our thanks once again to Baldev Chager and Jose Sardinia. Our thanks as always to Big City Studio. I'm Sean Cardovillis. See you next week.